I'm a casting director, and I'm here to answer your questions about casting. When you're recording a self-tape audition, does the slate go before or after the scene? So we actually always ask for a separate slate. That's a totally different clip. And that's because the way that our software is, we can show a director things in that way. So they can just skip right to your scene and just play that video, which just brings them immediately into your audition. And then there's a slate there for reference. You know, I happen to think that it looks awkward to do a slate and then jump into the scene because you're like seeing that transitional moment, and the beginning of your video is not acting. Like, you really want the first couple seconds of your audition tape to be you acting. You just don't want to have someone to have to wait for you to speak. Also, there can be like a big difference between your slate personality, like your real personality, and your acting, which is fine. And sometimes that's a good thing, and it shows that you have a lot of range, but sometimes it just makes the wrong first impression. You know, if your personality is really different from the character, then like whoever's looking at it like might get the idea that you're not a good fit like right off the bat, and then it's hard to walk back from. So I would say, like, unless you're told to slate at the very top of each scene before going into it, specifically, don't do that. Like, I think it sets you up poorly for success. So I would either do a separate slate or I guess put it at the end. And really, we only need a slate once. The purpose of a slate is to make sure that we have the right person in the video. We know who you are. We know how to contact you. It's really like a fail-safe measure of data, and it's industry standard. Other places might have different preferences. Pretty common to ask to slate like right before going into the scene. As far as slating at the end, I think that's less common, but honestly, like, it's going to be different depending on who you're applying through, like which casting agency, and like if they have directions for you, follow those, and just like try to be careful with reading. But it's not important to the audition itself, like the scene itself and acting itself. It's just important that it comes along so that, like, if your videos aren't labeled or if they end up in the wrong place or any of that stuff, we can match you saying your name on camera and all the other important information with the person auditioning in the video. So deprioritize the slate, I think, is the answer in general, like, and just prioritize the audition and prioritize in your videos, making the very first thing you do on camera acting, whether you have dialogue or not. So if you don't have the first line, you better be listening, as far as what you're doing on camera acting wise. Don't just wait to talk. That's a mistake we see all the time. Comment your questions and be sure to follow for more casting, acting, and modeling tips.